afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. It's the first Thursday of the month, which means we're in the kitchen with Across the Fence. Joining me are guest chefs Carolyn Peake from Williamstown, along with Deb Plumley and Lynn Jarvis, who are from South Hero up in the beautiful Champlain Islands. It's great to have everybody here, and I want to thank you all for preparing all these beautiful recipes for our Summer Fruit Recipes program. So, Carolyn, what have you got first?
Well, let me see. It's kind of hard to decide where to start, but I think I'm going to start up here in the front, and these are... They are strawberry muffins, well, made in, they do that if they've been around too long. They do that, they're made in ice cream cones. And then they say to serve them the same day you bake them, because if you don't, they do things like that. They get wobbly. But, I will warn you, they keep falling. They're like snowflakes. But, anyway, you can either dip them in melted chocolate, or I just drizzled some on top. And then if you want to be a little bit fancy, especially if you've got little kids, you could put some sprinkles or some little sugars or whatever onto them, and everybody can choose their own little color if you use colored cones, and just go along and
Be great for a birthday party.
It would be great for a birthday party. I had one for breakfast this morning, because they're muffins. They're not cupcakes. Okay. So,
all right. Well, Deb, you've got whoopie pies.
I do. So the whoopie pies originated during the Depression era, either in Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, or Maine, depending on which story you believe. And they were originally just a devil's food cake-like cookie sandwich with frosting in the middle. Now, this recipe is very simple. It just calls for a cake mix. I used a chocolate fudge and a strawberry. And the filling is whipped cream, cream cheese, and marshmallow fluff with sliced strawberries in the middle. And you can make the cookies and the filling ahead of time, and then just assemble them before you serve.
What a great idea. Now, Lynn, you have a beautiful pie that I've been eyeballing all morning.
Under that meringue is a orange rhubarb pie. It's delicious, wonderful for this time of year. And it's a recipe that my mother used to make, and we always looked forward to it every spring when the rhubarb was in season. Now, if we take a look at the pie, let me tell you a little about it. Under that meringue, there is your cooked rhubarb, of course, and along with that, there's some cornstarch, sugar, eggs, and orange juice. You pour the mixture into your prepared crust, and then put on your favorite meringue, and then cook it till it's golden brown like you see here. And I discovered, Judy, that rhubarb is technically not a fruit. It's a close relative of garden sorrel, which is a leafy plant with stalks, and therefore the rhubarb is a member of the vegetable family, but we often use it as fruit in these pies and other desserts. So I thought we'd be interested to hear about that.
Well, I can't wait to sample that. It looks delicious. Now, we're giving our viewers, one of our viewers, a chance to win a cookbook. It's Jahan Benoit's Encyclopedia of Cooking. It is 754 pages with nearly 2,000 recipes that capture the essence of French cuisine. After studying food chemistry at the Sorbonne in Paris, Madame Benoit ran a cooking school in Montreal and opened her own restaurant there. She pursued an eminent career in cooking until her passing in 1987 at the age of 83, and her Encyclopedia of Cooking is a real treasure. So you'll have to get a paper and pencil ready. At the end of the show, I'll tell you how you can enter our free drawing to win the cookbook. Now, we have a lot more recipes. So today, Deb, what's next?
Well, I love cooking with blueberries. They're good for you. They're high in iron and antioxidants, and they taste great.
They're delicious.
So, two good things. This is a chicken orzo salad. I've added sliced onions and carrots, the blueberries, of course, diced cucumbers. Serve it on a bed of lettuce with some fresh parsley, some raspberry vinaigrette, and you've got a great healthy meal for a hot summer day.
That looks delicious.
And this is a favorite recipe. This is handed down to me from my mother-in-law, Judy Plumley. It is an orange blueberry cake. It's very rich and flavorful. It uses a full cup of butter and 4 eggs. There's orange juice in the batter, and I think that really complements the flavors of the blueberries. And just before serving, I'll dust it with some confectionery sugar. And this is good for brunch or a nice dessert at the end of a light meal.
Well, that looks fabulous. Well, I know
Thank you.
Carolyn's coming in. You've got some more summer fruit recipes for us?
Oh, yes. Again, some of my favorite fruits, too. Like you, I like blueberries. I love raspberries, strawberries, you name it. I love it.
Excellent. We'll let you get to it.
Okay, then. Well, my first one that I'm going to talk about is a blueberry soup. And this is something that would be served cold. The recipe, I will warn you, makes about 4 quarts, so plan a big party if you're going to make this one. But it's very easy because it's just blueberries, sugar, water, and a little bit of cornstarch. So it makes up very quickly, and again, you serve it cold, so it's nice for some of these nice warm days that we've been having. And just make it up and enjoy it. Next, I have a strawberry rhubarb sauce, and the nice thing about this is, even though I didn't bring it with me, this is made in the good old crock pot slow cooker. You just put the rhubarb in with a stick of cinnamon and some white grape juice, and you let that cook for several hours, and then you add the strawberries and you let it cook for another hour or so. And I'm going to serve this over some angel cake, but you could serve it on ice cream, you could put it onto pudding, you could put it just about any type of dessert that you would want to put, you know, something over like that. And it just is a really nice, something a little different, because with the cinnamon in it, gives it a little different flair to it. Now, for a main course, it was hard to find a whole meal for things, so I just kind of went all different ways. But for this, I have a raspberry chicken breasts. And these are very easy because you start them in the frying pan. After you have browned those, you take them out of the frying pan and put in scallions and sugar, some raspberry vinegar, raspberry vinegar or a red wine vinegar, a few other things, and then when that's all nice and makes a nice sauce, you put the chicken back in and finish cooking it. It makes a really nice meal. It will do 4 chicken breasts. I had 5 that were big ones, and so I've got lots of pieces for everybody. Finally, I have my viewer recipe, which comes from Liz Pecor of Moncton, who says it's a favorite with her family this time of year, and it's a strawberry rhubarb bars. Now, you can either, I've discovered, and maybe I didn't cook mine long enough or something, but I discovered that not only could you cut it into bars, but you could just scoop it out, put it into your dish, and either put some ice cream or some whipped cream onto it, and you have a really nice sweet, tangy dessert. And she says it is very sweet, so you might want to use a little less sugar, which was what I did when I made this. But a really super, super recipe, and thank you very much, Liz, for sending that, because it's something that I can see is going to become a favorite in my family. So.
Liz is one of our regular viewers. She sends out of a lot of nice recipes.
Oh, good.
Would you mind getting the whipped cream out if you want
I
to
can
keep
try to
it
do that
fresh?
for you. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe a little bit of it and put it onto that
Well, yes,
thing that,
I think
that
that's
Liz
a great
sent.
idea.
So there, now you can see what it looks like with some whipped cream on it.
Well,
There.
thank you very much,
There's your
Carolyn. I'm going to begin with my viewer recipe. It's from the Amsden family down in Chester, Vermont. They're regular viewers, and I actually went to high school with some members of the Amsden family, and it's always nice to hear from them. They sent in this delicious rhubarb ambrosia Betty, and after tasting it, I know why it's one of their favorite recipes this time of year. In this recipe, there are, of course, your rhubarb, chunks of orange, coconut. It's held together with breadcrumbs and also a sweet sauce. And I'm going to take some out and put it in our bowl so you can get a look at it. It's a nice moist dessert and very flavorful. And just as Carolyn did with her rhubarb dish, a little whipped cream goes perfectly with this. And a special thanks to Edwin, Anita, and Candy Amsden in Chester for the viewer recipe to start my segment. Now I'm going to do a main dish, and since Carolyn used chicken, I thought I would go with pork. And this is my pork tenderloin with blueberry barbecue sauce. Now here you can see the meat. I've already cooked it and marinated it in the sauce, and when it was done, just before serving, you want to put on the rest of the sauce, and I'll put some on while I tell you about it. In here are blueberries, honey, some ketchup, lime juice, and spices. And I had this for dinner the other night, and I can tell you my stomach is growling right now because I'm anticipating this for lunch. None of us have had lunch yet, so we're looking forward to trying all of these great recipes. So there's the pork tenderloin with your blueberry sauce, a very nice recipe. I think a salad to go with this would be appropriate, and here's one that I like to make this time of year. It's a fresh fruit salad, very easy to make. If you look in the bowl, you can see there's strawberries, blueberries, green grapes, and red grapes. And just before serving, you want to put on a sauce, and it's in this jar. I'm going to shake it up a little bit. And you chill it and then pour it over the fruit, and we'll do that. And this is, again, it's made with orange juice and vanilla and a little sugar and water. And you can see it comes out a little thick during the cooking process, and it adds a really nice, tangy, orangey flavor to this fruit. You stir it up very gently. And doesn't that look good? And then top it off with some fresh mint. And this mint comes from my garden. And with all the rain we've been having up in the islands, my mint is about this tall. So there's plenty of mint this year. And I think now it's time to move on to desserts, and I have 3 of my summertime favorites. We're going to start with this one. It's a peach cobbler, as you can see here, and it's got peaches in it, and you've got your cinnamon in it, and quite easy to make, and it's 3 steps actually. First, you make your dough and you roll it out, and then you put over that dough some brown sugar, cinnamon, and walnuts. Roll it up like a jelly roll and cut it into 12 slices. Then in the bottom of this pan, you're going to put your filling, and that's made with your peaches, some lemon juice, and some brown sugar. Put the biscuits right over the top of that and bake it for about 30 minutes. That's all there is to it. Now I'm going to take one of these biscuits out so you can see it. I'll flip it over. And you can imagine just how tasty this is, especially if you like peaches, and fresh peaches this time of year will soon be coming on, and they're just going to be a really tasty meal with this. So I hope you'll give this a try, a peach cobbler. And moving on is another one with pears. Now, if you like pears, you're going to like this one. It's called a caramel pear crisp. Just 6 ingredients, easy to make. In the bottom, there's 4 cut up pears, and the crumb topping is made with brown sugar, oatmeal, and vanilla wafers. But what makes this really delicious is the caramel sauce that you put on top. And just as I figured, it's hardened up, so we're going to have a hard time getting it on here. But of course, at home, you would do this when it's really warm, and it would pour out very nice and easily. And then, of course, a little whipped cream on top of that, and you're in for a real treat. And my last one is my kind of spectacular one. It's right here, and I've decorated it for the 4th of July, not the 4th of the Flag Day coming up on June 14th, or you could use it for Father's Day coming up on June 16th. And it's my plum crazy cake. 3 easy steps. Put the plums in the bottom, put the sauce over that, and then put it in the oven and bake it and flip it over, and it's all ready to go.
It's dramatic.
Yes.
Thanks, Lynn. What great recipes. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you can get all of these recipes and also enter the drawing for the Encyclopedia of Cooking. You can get the recipes online from the Across the Fence website. Go to uvm.edu/extension. Click on the link to Across the Fence. You'll find the recipes on the left-hand side of the web page. To get the recipes by mail, send $2 and a stamped, self-addressed business-size envelope to Summer Fruit Recipes, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont, 05486. Please remember when ordering the recipes to include that $2 and a self-addressed stamped business envelope. Also, put your return address on that envelope when you send it to us, as it will be saved for the cookbook drawing later in the month. If you only want to be entered in the drawing, just send us your name and address to the address that you see on your screen. It's that easy. We're going to close our show today by wishing all of the dads out there a happy Father's Day coming up June 16th. And we invite you to join us back in the kitchen on July 4th at noon, when our theme will be picnics and outdoor eating. Can't wait for that one. That's my favorite. I'm Judy Simpson. I'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.
For a video copy of today's program, call toll-free 1-888-ATF-3430. Across the Fence is brought to you as a public service by University of Vermont Extension and WCAX-TV.